welcome everyone, it's time for more Avowed. Last time we killed ourselves a giant spider in the spider cave beneath the city. A very bad place for a cave, you know, beneath a giant city. Kind of feels like a structural problem about to happen. We basically saw that at the entrance to the cave, but apparently no one really cares about that. I suppose the government of the city isn't that cracked up, so to speak. Anyway, that was quite easy. As a matter of fact, way easier than the bear. But I suppose the bear was part of the main story, so it kind of checks out, I suppose. Anyway, after that we went back into the city, did a whole lot more parkouring and finding of things, picked up a few quests, not finished quests, but at least found stuff for quests. So for example, the deeds, I think it was, that we had previously gotten information about. We have picked those up, we haven't returned them, so that we will do that at a later time. I also went into, if we go to the map, I went into, yes, the Pearl District, which is apparently like the Sparrowhawks District. We met with the boss there, who, let's just say, tolerates us, and that's about it. So, okay. We shall see where that goes later. But in this episode, we are more or less just going to keep on going. We have, you know, a significant portion left of the city, potentially. We don't know exactly how much we can access, but we have a little path over here that we can look at. And there is also this. We have a watcher in this little area that I also haven't explored just yet. So that is basically where we begin. So... yeah, more stuff with Paradis. Of course, it's a big city, so it's going to take some time before we are completely explored and can go back into the wilderness. And I'm looking forward to that, because as I showed you in the, I think it was the last episode, as I showed you there, we're going to be coming to a lot of areas in this game, a lot of areas, and I'm very excited to see what all of that is about. So, you are not in there, but this is actually... I was about to say, this is not a building, this is still outside.
Stay out of trouble.
I shall stay out of trouble. Southern Embrace. Okay, so there's a watcher. What was the quest? Oh. Okay, never mind. That leads into... what? Hold on. Oh, that... okay. Right, not here. Gotcha. But this is then one point where we can make it outside. And I can see, is that a
surprise will let us walk out
camp thing? I think that's a camp thing. But that's okay then. That was just to let us know that this is how you get out. Hello. You're just a dwarf. Right, let's make our way inside again. And we shall...
whatever a man wins at cards, he's bound to lose it here.
Sure thing, Kai. I don't really care about your shenanigans. And is this right? Oh, wait, hold on. No, that's upside. So there's the boss. He's a big ogre. Very lovely. But he, as I said, he tolerates us so far, which is good. Right, we have something going on here. Wasn't I supposed to go here for something else as well? We have a courtesan we can talk to. Hello. Oh, you...
What's the matter? Has he done something?
He bores me to death, that's all. He knows Ambassador Heelguard, so we can't throw him out either.
You don't have to listen to him. You just have to look like you are.
Hold on.
Amazing what some will pay for you to bat your eyelashes at them.
Please, tell me more about Audra Charters.
Hold on, who's talking?
Exactly. Like
your voice is over there. Why is your voice over there when you are here?
You're new around here, aren't you?
Okay, there we go. That works. Hello.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Yes, that was weird. Well, some free money is lying around. Let's see about this here place. Hello, Juliana. Who the hell are you?
You're the talk of the town, envoy. Everyone wants to meet you.
Well, if you have a job offer, I might actually refuse it, because that's not what I'm about. Is it? For the right money, I might be. Anyway, I imagine they want to meet you too. Is that Juana Jasmine Perfume? Oh, do I recognize that? Anyway, let me guess, because I'm an envoy, because I'm a godlike. Word spreads faster, no then. What do I feel like? You don't mean that as a compliment. Okay, you know what? The Juana Jasmine perfume. What about that?
Good knows. Hope you don't stick it in politics. They don't like envoys around here.
Well, I have gathered as much. So people that aren't that worried about the adherents coming here, are they? I spend most of my life making people uneasy. I'm used to it. As long as they don't give me any trouble, we'll get along. Considering the welcome I got, I'm more worried about them. You know what? Yes, I am quite used to making people uneasy.
People are always uneasy about power. Until they have it, that is.
Also, why is my screen tearing a whole lot all of a sudden, just with you? That's weird. Anyway, what's a woman of your expertise doing in the Living Lands? I don't know what your expertise is. I bet you hear all kinds of things here. What can you tell me about Paradis? That seems smart.
Juliana knows enough dirt to run half of Paradis out of town.
He makes me out to be such a gossip. What do you want to know?
I like that one. Oh, I'm such a gossip. Oh, what do you want to know? And apparently Kai does know her, yes. I mean, I suppose he would. Anyway, how's the city coping with this dream sculpture rumors?
As well as you'd expect. It hasn't hurt my business, but I wouldn't give them ideas either. Your ambassador thinks he's going to make the place respectable.
Okay, so it's actually not screen tearing around her eyes. It's something weird. Okay, anyway. Paradis will grow on him, give it time. Sounds like bad news for your business. He just wants what's best for the Living Lands. He's not my ambassador particularly. No, he actually... Well, you know what? No, maybe he isn't.
What a coincidence. He isn't mine either. Now, if you've come to avail yourself, I'm sorry. We're closed. I'm out of some supplies that should have been here days ago. I'd hunt them down myself, but I don't have a firm enough hand. I need someone with more authority. Someone, well, someone like you.
Well, doesn't it sound like you were just waiting for me to show up? That's a coincidence. I found a shipment at the docks. There we go. This shipment at the docks, apparently. Would this be yours?
It is. I never thought I'd be so glad to see one of these things. You're lucky you're honest. Otherwise, I'd scold you for those sticky hands.
Well, there you go. Right, that was in... Was that in the Sparrowhawk's warehouse? Maybe? I think potentially. Anyway, you learned from a good healer. Elias parsley is the safest contraceptive. Start to say something, then stop yourself. Good doing business with you. No. We want to talk about contraceptives.
You're going to stop talking right now if you know what's good for you.
Careful. This shipment was smuggled for a reason.
All that education and you never learned to leave well enough alone.
Oh, come on. It's a good thing you came to me. I'll keep quiet. If I had secrets like that, I'd be cautious too. You're pretty brave to trick an envoy into smuggling for you. Well, we didn't really get tricked because we literally nicked the thing before we even had to talk to her, so don't say that. You're aware that this has been illegal for Adir for a decade. No, you know what, Juliana? I shall keep quiet.
Don't you realize walls have ears? If you knew how much was at stake here, you wouldn't have brought it up. I'm the only one left for the people of Paradis to turn to.
Oh, okay. That's interesting, you know, I mean, considering the courtesans outside, I thought that this was more of a brothel thing, but you are actually running a clinic for people who want to have abortions. Or, well, maybe not abortions, sorry, but safe sex, basically. Okay, well, that's fun. And unusual for, you know, a game set in this sort of time period-ish. I know that's why no one's going to hear a word about this. I hear about the dear midwives just vanishing. Now it all makes sense. Not everyone within the Empire agrees with the ban. I don't for a start, let's just say that.
You had the Emperor's time. You could have done something about it.
Don't blame the envoy. The thing about emperors is, they make the rules however they please.
I'm no fool. I know what happens when the Steel Garrote comes to town. I saw them drag my mother off back home. One more midwife for their cause. I am not going to lie down and let you do the same to me.
I mean, I have absolutely no intention of doing such a thing, though. You couldn't handle the Sparrowhawk. You're in no position to threaten me. Let's not go there. I'll keep you secret. No. Chill out. Don't stress her. She's doing good work, damn it. It is gonna stay between us, don't worry.
You can promise until you're blue in the face. What good does that do me?
Oh, okay, fine. What did you want me to do? I can't fight all of it here in law, but I can keep you safe. I'm an Adirian official. I'd be in just measures trouble for helping you. Fine, you don't trust me? Buy my silence. Okay, that's not a good one either. Which one would she appreciate more? I suppose, yeah, you know what? We'd be in trouble, both of us, okay?
You're right. If Ludwig knew, I shouldn't believe you, but I do. I've heard godlike have a way with people that they can't explain. I'm sorry I had to keep you in the dark. Come back anytime. I'll leave the light on for you.
Good
Well,
on
isn't
you,
that
Envoy.
lovely?
If only more of your countrymen were as reasonable.
See, I think we did good there. 300 coins as well as something. What did I get? I got the Night Mistress's favor. Slowly regenerate essence while close to a companion. Now that's not bad. Okay. How slowly? Very slowly. Okay, you know what? That's fine. I'll have this for now, but okay. You know what? If I'm in a bit of a pickle and just want to get my essence back, then that's a pretty good thing to do. Hello? Can I? Nope, can't get up
I
there.
hope Belia's all right. I
Hearing
haven't seen
a
her in
tingling
weeks.
from inside here. Hello. Also, just hello. I'm just gonna grab these things. Nesca, hello.
Are you here to see Juliana? Or can I help you with something else?
Well, I did just talk to her. A woman in Belia wants me to give the... Oh, Nazca, you're the one. The woman by a... Was it a fountain that she was standing by? The woman who is, well, was in love with you, but now had found someone else, which is... but very strange woman, that one. But here's a letter from her.
Belia? But she hasn't come by in a couple of months. Did something... Oh, I understand. Of course. It all makes sense now. That poor girl. She thinks everything that goes wrong is her fault. I'm glad she's found someone.
See? It's all fine. She worried too much. Okay, sounds like you did care for her. Okay, I mean a little bit, yes, but probably not in the way that Belia thought that she did, right? Or could have.
Yes, I did. Just not in the way she thought I did. Or perhaps not in the way she wanted. Thank you for bringing that letter, though. I was worried about her. I'll send one back. That should make her feel better.
And she just scribbles it completely down, right? Or did we actually get it? No, actually, I didn't even get anything. But see, I was correct. Lovely. Hello, sir. Okay, never mind. You do not want to chat. But that is indeed who I was supposed to talk to. I now remember, obviously. Okay. So what is this place? It's a bathhouse. Yes. So it is. It's a very PG-13 bathhouse, I suppose. So not like indecent or anything. Gotcha. Okay, we have The Soul Unbound, Chapter 1. So Miranda's flinty eyes flashed as she gripped her saber hilt. Give me one good reason why I shouldn't send you to the wheel. I can't, Adrian raised a golden eyebrow. After all, I am here to arrest you. And Miranda thrust forward. Ah, Adrian flinched away from her and raised his chin. You know your way around a blade, do you? Is this your first time? What are you implying? Only that you fight well for an animancer. How dare you, a rake and a liar. Adrian never lost his smirk, yet you're still blushing. Ooh, saucy writing. Of course I'm keeping that. Why does it feel like I do have screen tearing? I'm gonna check that later. I don't care so much about it right now. No, I'm okay with it. Anyway, so that was the... Was it Blushing Mermaid? No, Mermaid's Dead. Blushing Mermaid, isn't that from Baldur's Gate? Who was the mermaid? Is it the Blushing Mermaid? I think so.
We're closed.
Oh, hello. Do we have a problem?
Sorry, Envoy. No heroes discount. Looking still free, though.
Well, isn't that lovely? What do we got here? Why are there markings on Oh, that's a bit interesting. It's a very cluttered, this place. Okay, never mind that then. Oh. I'm sorry, sir. There are some weird stuff about this game, by the way, which is that, like, okay, he's very jittery. Had too much coffee, maybe. Yeah, there are a few weird bits and pieces about this game.
You can teach a person how to draw, but you can't teach good taste.
I mean, this is amazing. That's lovely. Right. Unlockable chest. I have a lot of lockpicks. I'll say a lot of. Some. Bronze. Ooh. Ooh, is that like the big coins? Gotcha. I'm almost tempted to sort of 32. Okay, oh, right, yes. So that's 8 value or whatever. Amethyst, some ladder, iron chunk, pelts, stuff like that. Binding copper. Sounds good. We'll see when we get to it. It feels like I'm picking up a few good materials, but like not exactly the good materials I need to start upgrading my stuff, which is a bit sad.
If you don't take it, the Adherans will. The other Adherans, I mean.
That's a good... okay. Sir, do you need a hand? I'm gonna... okay, I can't shove you because you are see-through. Okay. So people are having issues with that little board there. Gotcha. Okay, anything fun here? I should assume that I can't go in there, and I might not even want to. There's a ledge over there, but... any reason to try and go for that? No idea. Yeah, there's like an upside to this place. Can we... through here? I mean, there might be some fun exploration going on here. We shall see. We shall see. Okay, what do we got here then?
If
Hello.
you'd like to be useful, I could use another drink.
Okay, hello.
Oh, how can one concentrate with you running all about the place?
Hey, I just got here. Chill out. So I'm looking for a crew of smugglers. Apparently I want to ask him about that.
I speak to a lot of people, whether I want to or not. Seek my good friend Gunneth down by the grinning Ballarok. Or maybe old Adelgund, if you can distract her from her wandering.
Yeah, there is very much something weird going on
I could use another drink.
with the screen. But it doesn't feel like it's... this is weird. It doesn't feel like it's the vertical sync kind of tearing.
If you'd
it's
like to be useful,
something else. That's so weird.
could
I'm
use
gonna have to have a
another
look.
drink.
Turns out it was V-Sync that had for some reason been turned off.
If you'd
I
like
haven't,
to be
so
useful,
who the hell turned that off?
I could use another drink.
It probably was me, but there you go. So now it actually is looking better. That was weird. Again, I haven't really been into the settings at all, so yeah. Okay, we have a door that I can open. Hello. Why can I open this? Hello. No, I was about to say, ooh, a hidey place. It is a hidey place, but why? Are these real people? It's bloody hell, it almost looks like it. They aren't, but yeah, they're not. But why could I come in here? Why this? Explain to me, why this? There's nothing here, as far as I can tell, at least. No prompts or anything. Nope, okay, fine. That was weird. Okay, ooh, apothecary's shop. Barge door here before we go to apothecary's shop. Let's go through here. Bam. Chest with more materials. Presumably silver lusk. Those are worth 3. A lot of stuff for branches, which is good, but not the only thing I need. Can I get up here? Is this a place where I can... no. Apparently not, but this building, that is up there. Okay. Allow me to just think about
That's
this.
just neglectful. Who lets a parkroom building get that
was just
bad?
you. Right. This is clearly a thing that we can sort of traverse. Is this related to what, or where we just were? Potentially. It's just that way. Okay, then we can come around here. Oh, have I been here? I'm almost, yeah, this is, okay, never mind, this is where we were before. But did I do all of this? I wonder. Because I have, yes, I clearly have been here. But, oh, that it, no, damn it, okay. We get up here, yes. Now we are, right, now we're in the apothecary place, but I want to be somehow up there. Okay, before we again check with you, let's just scope the place out. No, it's going to be fine. Let's chat with the apothecary. You're like very alone in your little court here. Hello, Griska.
Welcome. You must be the Adiran envoy I've heard so much about. All of my potions are brewed with care. Only local ingredients.
Why? There are presumably outsourced ingredients that are as good as those. Okay, what have you heard about me?
Well, to be honest, I heard that you rose from the dead? Still not sure if I believe it.
Well, you best believe it, sir. Glimpse beyond, I'm a different person now. Am I? Maybe a little bit. Yes. Well, actually, you know what? Don't believe everything you hear.
That's a relief. For a second there, I was worried the gods had turned everything upside down. Let me know if you need anything. It's the least I can do for the one who tried to save our claviger.
That is, however, me. So, yeah, what about the local ingredients? Why do you prefer those?
The Living Land has some of the most potent herbs and natural salves in all of Eora. And some of the deadliest poisons. The trick is knowing which is which.
Presumably you do. So you sell a bunch of stuff. Yes, you have lockpicks. Let's get all the lockpicks. Lovely. Essence potions. No Paradis and ladder, though. Some bear claws, spear dress, new vessel bone. Cool. Right. Why are you grasping your arm like that? But you didn't say anything about that. That's a bit interesting. But, how the hell do I get up here? Hello. 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 Tomato. Don't mind if I do. Tomato, turnip, and a lemon in a bowl. That's interesting. Right, so is this where... This is literally what we found in here. That is... And this... Was this just open? Ah, right.
All my time in Paradis, and I never knew a painter lived here.
Cool. So did we find painting interesting things? Or other related things? Apparently not. Right, but still, how do we... I want to get up. I would like to get upwards. We... No. No, you don't want to grab onto that. Nope, apparently not. Okay. Hello, side room. You're not allowed inside room. Impenetrable curtains. Oh, hello. Allow me to just have some palm stone, please, and thank you. I am actually, you know, a bit injured. Right. But how the hell do we definitely, I say definitely, I don't know. Are we meant to be able to go higher up? I mean, it sort of feels like it, but maybe not, now that I think about it. Can I mean, I can't even get up here, I would say. No, not really. Where else would I be able to go up? Okay, you know what, I might actually say that we don't get up here. Okay, then. Color me a bit surprised, eh? Maybe if we go even higher up in the town, so to speak, like if we're even up there, maybe at that point we can sort of drop down, maybe? Because if we look at the map now, well, I don't know. Question is, though, how do we go here? That is an interesting point. How the hell did we get to that part of the town? Because, as we just discovered moments ago, going here doesn't lead up there. Well, I suppose... Oh, Kai actually wants to chat with me. We also have some Magnus blessing. We do not need to eat that right now. Hell is that? It's just... Okay, that is what was left of him. It. The plant is not a person. Don't worry. Let's move over here. I just wanna check. If there's any point. Yeah, because this led around to here, which led around to here, which led around to. Don't. All right, that was where we had some ghosts. But yeah, okay. You know what? This is. I don't have to go there. I can just. I can just drop down here, drop down here, and then we can come up here, and this should be where we would like to be. Yes, here we go. Here we go. Do I get in? That's the question, I suppose. Ah, Paradis Hightown. Its own little thing, huh? Well, do we do that now? Do I just... I might actually save that for when the main story sort of takes us there. Because we explored, like, the basics of Paradis. Yeah, you know what? I think we are fine here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go for the ambassador, basically. Lovely. We're going to go and chat with the ambassador, see what he has to say about everything, and if he needs me to do anything. And if we exit the city to the right, which we probably will, or east maybe I should say, we shall go to camp and have a chat with Kai. That should be a good plan, I think. Right, so the ambassador is over here. Hello. Ooh, it's Garrick. Hello, Garrick.
None of the clerks believe my story.
Uh-huh.
I'll keep trying. But there's not much to be done for Fort Northreach.
Oh, well, that's a bit of a shame, then. Cartographers Guild Volume 1. Long has the renowned Cartographers Guild served the Emperors and Queens of Aedir. It is we who are responsible for the creation and distribution of the many maps throughout the Empire. Whether to direct travelers throughout the expanse that is Aedir, guide ship captains on their voyages throughout Eora, or simply adorn the walls of an aristocrat's home, one can rest assured that the Cartographers Guild is behind the creation of every one of these works of art. For over 2 centuries since the Noble Expedition Corps discovered the Eastern Reach, we have worked and labored to keep all of the Empire and her colonies supplied with accurate, high-quality maps. God's willing, we will continue to do so for centuries yet to come. Well, hopefully you will. Oh, it's a lot of stuff to read here. Many, many things. Aedir Customs. You know what? This could be one of those things that you can read if you want to. I'm gonna leave this for now. I might at some point read that, but if you want to read, just pause and have a gander. We also have the Aedir Empire, Part 1 Origin, same thing here. Could be interesting to read, but I'm not going to do it right now. Fun to get the lore, I suppose, but not necessarily relevant at this point. Country letter, however. Ambassador Hilgard, I've maintained order in Paris for many years. I know the city. When there's a good leader and fair policy, there is peace. But you allowed the Steel Garrote to terrorize my people, to sow distrust and fear. I suggest you tighten your Inquisitor's leash, or the embassy might not carry your banners for long, from Claviger Amond. Okay. Is that why he's dead? I don't know, maybe. Steel Garrote report. We found this book on a public bench. After careful study, our scribe confirmed the handwriting matches the signature found on scrolls of Tane's chaotic orb. Be advised that Tane is in the Living Lands. As a member of the Circle of Arch-Magi, he has a license to go where he pleases. We will observe him at a distance, but no one is to engage him. Tane is either a harmless fool or one of the most dangerous people alive. We simply can't take that chance. Ooh, we're gonna want to meet him. So this is his diary. Dear diary, here I am in the living lands. This island might not be the safest vacation spot, but it's certainly the most colorful. Also the most flavorful, according to these mushrooms. Ooh. And mushrooms seldom lie. Apparently they don't. Before I forget, I promised the Bekarna I'd bring back a souvenir. There's a rumor of a fallen star in Emerald Stair. Could be a nice addition to her collection. A message is scribbled on the inside cover. If found, please return to Tane, the Archmage, author of Tane's Chaotic Orb. I would love to take it, but apparently I can't. Then we have the Dear Empire Part 2, Expanding Borders. Okay. The Furkening? That is an interesting name. Right. A whole bunch of stuff over there that apparently we do want to scribble down. Right. Hugh, hello.
Envoy, hello. I'm glad to see you on your feet. Kai.
Tej.
I'm surprised they let you in here.
I'm surprised you're still gainfully employed.
Well, aren't you a sassy person? Do we have a problem here?
I didn't mean anything by it, Envoy. He's just curious company for you to keep.
Hey, somebody has to have the envoys back, because you all sure didn't.
No one expected the Envoy to get assassinated.
Exactly. Amateurs.
Okay, Kai, you might want to just chill out, because it's not like you kept me from being assassinated either. But you did take me to a bone saw, I think you're calling them. So I suppose you did have my back a little bit. Okay, what's the story here?
Well,
Kai?
come on, it's funny. Tej caused a ruckus last time he was slumming it at the Ballarrock. You were trying to kill a man, if I remember right. I had to put you outside.
You threw me into the canal.
You lived.
That water's filthy. I had the runs for 3 days.
Gods, Tej. The envoy doesn't need to know that.
But it was a bit funny, yes. So, did you really try to kill someone, Tej?
The fellow cheated me. I couldn't let that slide. Or he'd think we were all marks.
It was over a dice game, right? Tej here has a gambling problem.
Great. Let's air all my troubles. Is there anything else?
The bartender sleeping with your girlfriend.
You're lying.
You sure about that?
We'll talk about this later.
I'm not breaking up with her for you. Just so we're clear.
That's more than enough. Thank you. Was there anything I could help you with, Envoy?
I mean, considering his sort of demeanor, I'd almost say that he was sleeping with the bartender instead of the girlfriend, but you know what? You do you, I suppose. But anyway, come on, Tej. You're not gonna stand up to Kai. Let's see where this can go.
The 7-foot-tall Aumaua with biceps the size of my head? No, I am not.
Flatterer. You know I'm barely over 6.5.
There you go. Okay, well, I got questions.
Naturally, Mom. How can I help you?
Oh, Mom, eh? Right, you can answer a lot of questions, apparently. So, Paradis, I'd like to understand it better.
What would you like to know?
Well, oh, bloody... Okay, you know what? I mean, part of me wants to do this, but... Oh, there's a lot, isn't it? Okay, fine, we have time. Right, what about the foundations of the city and who does live here?
If you're looking for a particular year, the first thing you should know about Paradis is that this isn't the kind of place where the locals keep records. And though it might be considered a distant backwater by the rest of the world, this city is the height of civilization by the standards of the living lands. As for who calls this place home, I suspect you could find a criminal, confidence man, or prophet from every civilization in the world here.
Hey, come on. You're gonna give the envoy the wrong idea. We've got draft dodgers, courtesans, and revolutionaries, too. You know, all the fun people.
In any event, as far as I can tell, Paradis has been this way since its inception. Thus the eclectic display of architectural styles. If nothing else, this city is a reflection of the countless people who have passed through it on their way to the interior.
Intriguing. Now, dear, what the hell do we want here?
Depends on who you ask. Ambassador Heelgard will tell you that our remit here is to establish a secure and orderly environment from which to engage in trade. Inquisitor Liudwin will tell you we're here to break the frontier.
So, which is it?
Why not both?
It's interesting how they pronounce the Inquisitor's name. Ludwin. It's like... It's just an Ludwin. There we go. Very easy. For a Swede, I suppose. So anyway, I'm not hearing anything about the Dream Scourge here.
That's where you come in. Whether you find your desires aligning with the ambassadors or the inquisitors, neither can succeed until the Dream Scourge is ended. We are only beginning to see its effects here in Dawnshore, but the closer to the center of the island you go, the worse it gets. That bear you and the ambassador encountered in the Strangle Route isn't even the worst of it. And the tide of this soul plague is rising higher every day.
Well, that's good then. Right. Adherence then. How do the Paradises feel about us, actually? Like, in your words?
Look, for all that I complain about this backwater, there are good people here. Same as anywhere else. People who want to be able to walk to the market in the morning for their bread and eggs and know they won't be mugged. People who like it when the mail comes on time, and their skates are made from real copper, and their neighborhood peeping Tom ends up in the stocks. Those people, good and honest people, who pay their debts and honor their contracts and remember to thank the gods, they like us a lot.
Well, alright then, fair enough. Also, mail. You have mail here? Well, that's lovely. So, okay. The people that tried to kill me, did you know who they might be?
The Resistance, as such, are largely a group of misfits and criminals intent on undermining the rule of law. They take out loans with small Adheran banking houses and do not pay them, then assault the bankers who attempt to collect. They agree to contracts with families in Adir seeking homes, and when their ships arrive, promptly abandon them. When we levy a small tax to fund the repair of city roads, they set our counting house on fire. And when our fishermen return to port, they board their ships and sink them.
That's certainly one way to characterize them. It's not exactly wrong, but it's not exactly right either.
For decades, people like them ruled this city through fear. We imposed order, and now they oppose us. You, unfortunately, were caught in the crossfire.
Do we know that that's true? I'm not really sure. Okay, are there
By
more
all
things?
means.
Well, there are a lot of it. So I really don't have time to brief me on the living lands. What do I need to know?
There's a lot of ground to cover. Could you be more specific?
I suppose I can. Bloody hell. A lot of stuff here. So, yes, living lands and Adir, how do they compare on a map?
Ah, the age-old question. Who's bigger? Adir is, naturally, by a wide margin. And were we at the Cartographers Guild in High Crown, I could show you on one of their globes. As it is, we must make do in the theater of our minds.
So we do know that it's a globe, that's nice. So, yeah, where is the living lands in relation to Adir? That's an interesting question, I suppose.
The living lands are located in the far north of Aora. Adir is southwest of the living lands, situated along the equator.
Do you know about an equator? Lovely. Very modern. So how about the weather? Terrain? Need to know what to expect.
The living lands are more arid than Adir, and the island is more prone to storms. But its many deep valleys protect the various townships from the worst of the weather. Topographically speaking, the living lands are a place of extremes. Deep inland, mountains rise high enough to rival those of the White March, blanketed year-round in snow. While east of the volcano of Mount Forja is an acid sea that sinks far below the level of the ocean. The lands between them are riven with deep clefts in the earth and isolated by wastelands of sun-baked sand dunes.
Interesting.
I'll share what I can.
Okay. So, who's in power then? That's a good question. Who the hell leads this place?
There is no singular authority in the living lands.
Not yet, anyway.
I shudder to think what the living lands would look like under your rule.
Well, to start, there'd be a lot more brothels.
Charming. Power is invested in the leaders of the various townships scattered across the island. The largest are Fjord, Thirdborn, and Solace. None of which, I will note, are as safe and orderly as Paradis.
Ah, so we're actually going to get more proper settlements. That's lovely. Fior, what's about that?
Fior Messaverno is located in a valley known locally as the Emerald Stair, named for the terraced rice paddies that cover its hillsides. It is our closest neighbor. The city, if you can call it that, was founded 50 years ago by animancers from the Valian Republics. Apparently, the laws governing animancy weren't lenient enough in the Republics. So the city's founders came to the Living Lands, where they could practice their discipline more freely. Currently, Fior is governed by a man named Ignacy Vidaro. Rather inept to hear the ambassador talk about him. Fior's farmers supply most of the grain and vegetables we eat here in Paradis. Or it did. Their shipments have been infrequent lately. Something about a blight in the fields. In any event, I believe that covers Fior.
And we have actually learned a little bit about that before. For the love of God. Okay, what about the Valian Republics?
The Valian Republics are a collection of city-states in the Eastern Reach, southeast of our former colony, the Deerwood. The Republics began life as colonies of the Grand Empire of Valia, hence the name. But as Grand Valia's economy collapsed, well, the colony saw an opportunity to escape the influence of the Empire of Origin, and they seceded, much as the Deerwood did from Adir. Now a mature confederation in their own right, the Republics have recently indulged their own expansionist ambitions in the Deadfire Archipelago. Through their merchants in the Valian Trading Company, the Republics will sell you anything you could ever wish to buy.
Up to and including people.
We should count ourselves lucky to have had no interest in the Living Lands. In a struggle between our Emperor and the Republic's great dukes, well, I doubt we would come out on top. But if anyone asks, I was not the one who told you that.
Ah, I was actually about to say, are all of these places in the Living Lands? But apparently not, no. Okay, Thirdborn, we've also heard about those before.
Everything you need to know about Thirdborn is in its name. It was founded by the Thirdborn children of Rawatai, Navy dropouts, smugglers, and hands for hire. Almawa and Orleans, mostly.
Home, sweet home.
You're free to go back any time you like.
I like my current circumstances just fine, thanks.
They are people, in short, who couldn't cut it in the civilized world, and had to make room on the margins. Unfortunately, they are currently besieged by the Dream Scourge. We have sent some troops to lend what help we can, and the mayor, Temerity, was appropriately grateful, but I don't know how long they'll hold out.
Okay, what about Temerity? Wait, is it? Yep, it should be at the bottom. Temerity is the no-nonsense and much beleaguered current leader of Thirdborn. Okay, nothing more about that. And also, Rawatai. I mean, I could just ask Kai, but let's ask this guy as well, I suppose.
Rawatai is one of the old empires, every bit as storied as Grand Valia, or our native Adir. If Adir is to the southwest of the Living Lands, Rawatai is to the southeast. And unlike our home, their small continent is racked by terrible storms. This is due, or rather, was due, to the island's proximity to Andra's mortar, the unending super hurricane that once hid the ancient city of Ukaizo. Rawatai is largely peopled by Almawa, descended from those who fled the Deadfire Archipelago centuries ago, when Andra pulled the moon, Ioni Brather, into the sea. They are an aggressive, militant culture, and personally, I find their obsession with gunpowder rather quaint. They are also our chief rivals on the world stage.
I don't think they see it that way.
No?
Well, as far as Navy brass is concerned, Adir doesn't really rate.
Now you're just making things up.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but we don't think about you at all.
Okay, lot of things there. First and foremost, Andra's mortar, massive patch of ocean in the Deadfire Archipelago that was racked by storms for centuries. Okay, then we have Ukaizo, a mythical island hidden in the Deadfire Archipelago. Was rediscovered in Andra's mortar, all but empty save for the great and mysterious machines that towered would love to go there. Ondra, the goddess of oceans, forgetting the goddess of forgetting things. No, forgotten things, lost relentlessness and mourning. Her followers carry tokens of bad memories into the sea so they can be forgotten. Cool. And then Ioni Brather, a small moon that collided with the aura thousands of years ago. Myths tell of the goddess Ondra pulling the moon into her watery embrace. Fragments of Ioni Brather are still found. Ooh, that's lovely. Okay, fine. Solace.
Solace is, what is there to say, really?
Yeah, they tend to have that effect on people.
The trouble is, I don't know much about Solace. Nobody does. They are an isolationist community of Pogrunan dwarves who live in the forbidding ways of Galawain's tusks. They don't let outsiders into their lands, and they don't let their people out of them.
Some folks get out from time to time, but they can't ever go back. And the ones who survive aren't eager to talk about their experiences.
People aside, the land itself is incredibly hostile. The island's volcano, Mount Forja, rests at the heart of the region, and it's recently become active. Half the land is lava rock, and the other half is, well, literally lava. I don't know why anyone lives there. I have to assume they're all insane.
You have no idea.
Well, we're gonna go there eventually, I suppose. So anything you can tell me about Pogrunan dwarves?
Naturally. The Pogrunan are a unique community of mountain dwarves originating in Old Valia. As a people, they've made their name as explorers, builders, miners. No doubt you've seen their ruins in your travels, here, back home in Adir, and all across the world. They maintain a rich tradition of oral storytelling, chanted magics, and ritual carving, which they take great pains to record and transmit across their various communities. Even the most physically isolated Pogrun is not alone. Somewhere, one of their people is thinking of them and planning an expedition. Abidan must cherish them.
You sound like you admire them.
I suppose I do.
I mean, if they all are all about those things, yes.
Of course.
Now, okay. Ludwin, who the hell is she?
Consider yourself lucky. Inquisitor Ludwin is the commander of the Steel Garrote in Paradis. Were you to ask her, she'd say she keeps the peace. But she doesn't keep it so much as prosecute it. As ruthlessly as the ambassador will let her. She's also a veteran of the Steel Garrote's campaign in the Deadfire, where she died.
She's a Death Guard. Well, that explains a lot.
I don't know what happened to her there, but I suppose Wodica wasn't done with her yet.
Oh, so is she a god-like? Because why else would a god be interested in her, I suppose? I don't know. So, we had a Death Guard standing watch of the Orcas at Dragon Hill, apparently, I can say.
Cryptic Neil! I remember him fondly.
Cryptic Neil, huh? How did you remember him?
I took every upper-level course the university offered on memory and recall to circumvent the Walian glamour on him. And even then, it only barely worked. I had to look at him out of the corner of my eye and half cross them while thinking of something dreadfully boring like, grimoire repair. On the upside, it's made me an exceptional clerk. But that's neither here nor there. We were discussing Death Guards.
Well, you just give me a new thing. Well is the god of secrets, revelations, illusions, cryptography, obfuscation, perception, dreams, and visions. Follows are a mystery even to each other, reveling reveling in acts of creating and unraveling mysteries. Cool. Okay, what about Death Guards?
Death Guards are surpassingly rare. Some of the secretaries who traveled without dignitaries in the Deadfire spoke of one named Iser, a devotee of Berith, who guards the hanging sepulchres there. But I have heard of none others except those I've read about in the histories. They are people, most often paladins or priests, so devoted to a cause that they simply refuse to pass on to the wheel when they die. Their soul haunts their body. The passion required to sustain them devours their flesh, and they swiftly turn to bone. I've never read a history nor tale of a Death Guard that did not end with them going quite mad. When they lose their capacity to care for anything but their cause, they cannot love. And when they cannot love, they cannot be merciful. And so everything before them becomes only an obstacle.
Well, that's basically a paladin, isn't it? Yes. So, right, what was she before she became a Death Guard? And is she a Death Guard then? Because, like, is she a skeleton? That'll be fun to see.
I only met her once. She was a mid-level member of the Steel Garrote then, chasing Oathbreakers who'd fled Adiran law. She'd come back to the Imperial Archives to borrow a map to a place called Oathbinder's Sanctum. I remember she was furious because the map was quite poor. She worried about finding the place, about properly executing her duty to her god. She wanted, I think, to do a good job. So, while clearly she has changed, in some sense, I'd say she's much the same.
And also, yes, probably not a godlike, because apparently we can have connections to gods in other ways than just being a godlike. So the Steel Garrote then, let's talk about that.
Think upon your promises and die. That's the litany of the Steel Garrote, usually said right before they kill you. They're an order of paladins born and bred in Adir, though clearly they've found plenty of work beyond our borders. Their remit is simple but comprehensive. They punish all who break their oaths. In practice, that has historically meant contracts. One lord or merchant will hire the Steel Garrote to bring a duplicitous rival to justice.
Fun bunch. What are they doing in Paradis?
Since the events in the Deadfire, their operations have expanded. The Steel Garrote has always been associated with Wodaka. Now, they are explicitly her order. And they go wherever Wodaka's priests, or Wodaka herself, believes there is a need for them to go. The Living Lands are a dangerous, lawless frontier in sore need of order. Thus, they are here. Or so the Steel Garrote say.
I mean, that sounds good. Right, yes, Wodka is the goddess of vengeance, and that is a challenging patron.
Do you think so? I've always found her inflexibility comforting. Wodaka's edicts are clear. If you obey her laws, pursue justice, punish the guilty, and give fealty to the Emperor, then you have pleased her, and I aim to please. But Wodaka does not trust. She demands that you declare yourself for her again and again. Her every request is a test, and her every test is an opportunity to disappoint her. I appreciate a god who makes you work for their grace. I don't want anything given to me for free.
Well, I mean, okay, comparing it to, well, reality, where we are, I suppose that's fair. Like, if you basically knew that gods existed, then, you know, what he just said makes sense. But, like, we don't know that, but, okay, you know what, never mind. What else?
Book.
I mean, we're about to end the episode, damn it. So, yes, I was told to meet with a watcher. What about watchers?
I trust whomever told you to consult a watcher also told you to avoid the one in the city. She is a liar and a thief.
Oh, did you take your money?
No. Anyway, watchers are individuals capable of perceiving souls. The soul may be in a living body, or it may simply be lingering, waiting to pass into the in-between. In either case, interacting with a soul allows a watcher to glimpse a person's past lives or their most deeply buried memories. Watchers are incredibly rare, and in Adir, highly controlled. Many people wish to know who they were in a previous life, and do not like what they learn.
Okay, well, what happens to them in Adir? What's that question? I don't know.
The smart ones stay hidden. They do not announce their powers, perhaps not even to themselves. Even a careful watcher risks inadvertently revealing themselves by knowing something they shouldn't know. Of the ones that are public, little is concretely known. But we hear things. They make good judges in Wodaka's courts, so long as they're controlled. The lords, it's rumored, buy and sell them to collect blackmail on their enemies. But I suspect many watchers are imprisoned or executed, or simply kill themselves.
Ah, so when you said that they were controlled, you literally mean that they cannot exist, basically. Alright, and so, are they dangerous?
A Watcher doesn't need your cooperation or consent to read your soul. They could learn everything about you, terribly damaging things about your parentage, for example, or things you did in a past life, without you ever knowing. You see how this could threaten the established order, undermine our betters' right to rule.
Yeah, but that's just one side to it. Imagine how a Watcher feels, knowing what a threat they are to the status quo. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't be keen on kings and emperors wanting me dead. Sounds like a lot of hassle.
Don't sell yourself short, Kai. I don't doubt you're an expert in people wanting you dead.
You're not wrong.
I rarely am. In any case, the Watcher is fundamentally a tragic figure. Of the few that survive our world, most are destined to go mad.
Intriguing. By any chance could I be a Watcher?
Yes and no. So far as I understand it, a Watcher is born a Watcher. But it takes an event, often something shocking or traumatic, to bring a Watcher's powers to the fore. So you may be a Watcher, or I may be, or Kai, and we might not even know.
Okay, interesting. So, any famous Watchers?
Well, the Watcher of Cadnua is legendary. It was their castle Aethys destroyed when he began his campaign of terror in the Dead Fire. Oh, by the Queen, I hope I get to meet them someday. In terms of local interest, you'll have heard of Runed, of course. And there was Ida. You may not know about her. She was a Watcher from the Living Lands. I believe she was an Orlan. She must have died, 150 years ago. Slain by a great serpent, gods treat kindly with her soul. Doubtless there are others, but most don't meet a good end.
Sad about that. And oh, there was a perception check there. Alright then, I think we should be getting close now. So, did you speak to that scout out front? I don't know, did ya?
Off freak. I did. Terrible shame what happened to his brother. It sounds like his injuries were severe. I saw you two talking. I hope you can help him, Envoy.
Ah, so that was that guy. I am heading there probably right after this, actually.
Oh, that's a relief. Cadman is a good kid, cannier than his brother, and wasted on those glorified tomb robbers. You're the only one we have with the expertise for that kind of field work.
Aside from the people in trouble down there, which says something to the danger in that cave.
Whatever I think of the Expeditions Corps, they serve a vital purpose to the Empire. I'm glad it's you going after them.
And potentially a new companion, which is what I think it is. Also, yes. So, right, the Ambassador, what's he like?
Well, you'll notice I'm nearly always here. If that man sleeps, I don't know about it. He wouldn't say, but I believe he relied on the Claviger far more than he lets on. And without the Claviger's steady hand at the rudder, the Ambassador's struggling just to bail water from the sinking ship that is Paradis.
Claviger Aemon might have tolerated a little more chaos than the Ambassador liked, but he kept this place humming. He's not someone you can easily replace, and not with one man alone.
It's a difficult job. The pressure sometimes gets the better of him. But if he loses his temper now and then, I can't blame him for it. Better him than me.
Well, alright then. So, when he's not working, what's he like?
He doesn't know what to do with himself. You know, in our first days here, he'd often walk to the end of the docks at sunrise. The work was done, the embassy was closed, and he'd still be wearing the same clothes he'd slept in at his desk. And he'd just stare out over the sea. He always seemed dissatisfied back then. I suppose, years later, he still does.
Okay, and you don't want his job by any chance?
Be serious. Most of us here didn't get sent to the frontier because we were anybody's favorite. The longer I'm here, the more likely the people who matter are to forget me. And I'd actually like to get back to High Crown someday. Get married, have a few kids, take the civil exams, and settle into a permanent clerkship.
I guess there are worse ways to spend a life.
Like rotting in this embassy.
Well, lovely. All right, then.
I'm an open book.
Was there anything else? No, there we go.
Should you ever need me, I will be here. Safe travels, envoy.
Tish, you are a bastard. No, you're not. But, like, that took a lot of time. A lot of time that I had most likely wanted to spend with the ambassador, which we are now going to do next episode, because we are well past closing this one off. But yes, we're going to talk to the ambassador and just see what he wants. But I do think that we are literally going to go for the Edirne expedition team, because as I said, potentially there is a new companion there, and I would very much love to see that. So what I'm thinking is basically we sort of loop around here. We talk to the ambassador. We do want to chat with Kai, so take just a quick step by our camp, and also just finish off the upgrading armor bit, even though I don't care about that much. And then probably take this path up here is what I'm thinking. We might actually get a different entry point into the, what's it called? High something of Paradis. So yes, I think that we have a idea for the next episode. Basically, for now though, this has been ghostmutgaming with me, Christopher. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.